Hey guys, Tuesday, December 17th. A little bit of a hard subject today. I just want to talk a little bit of truth here about the generations. We've got the boomers and the Xers that are transferring more money, billions of dollars to the next generation over the next 10 years, more money than we've ever seen. The issue is that by making so much money and having so much, they've got this spirit of comfort that sits on them. And we drive into our garage doors and they go down and we go into our houses and we don't do community very well. As boomers and Xers, we really weren't discipled in the church. We were taught how to go to church, but not how to become the church. And nobody really took the time to disciple us. And so what that has done to these next generations, millennials and Gen Zs, has kind of left a gap. And what God's doing right now is he's turning the hearts of the fathers and mothers to the children and the children's hearts back. And the only way he's going to be able to do that is if we can get really honest with one another. If we can really speak truth into one another's hearts. And so the truth is, boomers and Xers, you're too comfortable. It is a spirit that has ripped you off. Listen, I'm trying to call out hundreds, maybe thousands of elders by doing Rethink Retirements and other events to come and help serve a generation. They want discipled. A really good thing about millennials and Gen Zs is they're hungry. They want to be discipled by elders. I know you felt rejected by them. I know you don't feel qualified to do that, but you are. Really, all they're looking for is perspective. Look, boomers, you have scars. You've buried people. You have maybe gone through divorce. Maybe all the things that have happened you're carrying. And that's wisdom. That's something that we can give to them. But mostly we just need to listen first, listen really, really well, and then give some perspective on life for them, and they'll listen. Millennials, Gen Zs, man, what's your issue? Your issue is follow through. Listen, I'm working with you every day, all day, have been for years. You do not follow through on your commitments. And if you say you're going to give 2 years, you give 2 years. God generally doesn't change his mind. And when he asks you to do something, do it with your full heart. And I need you to step into reading. You've been told in our broken education system how to think. You've been told in our broken church system how to think. We've given you a fear-based, horrible ending gospel that just isn't true. And listen, elders, when a Gen X, not a Gen X, excuse me, a millennial or a Gen Z, when they get the truth that they were born to be loved, that they were put on this planet just to get God's family back, that God's not some angry ogre up there that is mad at them and hates them and has just created this whole thing to send them to hell. Once they understand that none of that is true, man, they are hungry. They want discipled. Their eyes are wide open and they'll work. What I love about the next generation is that they want to see value. They're not going to move into our big 5-bedroom, 6,000 square foot homes. It's just not what they want. They want simplicity, they want to see value, and they want to be discipled. And I believe me when I tell you, when they get those things, they're going to turn their hearts back in a radical way. And so guys, it's a multi-generational happening, a movement happening that we're all a part of, like it or not. And you can choose not to press in. Both sides, elders and young people, you can choose to just kind of have a nice life. And that's okay. It's not a heaven and hell issue for you Christians. But I can tell you this, that if you want a fulfilled life, if you want to give yourself to something much bigger than what you've ever dreamt or imagined, he says in Ephesians, pressed down, shaken together, man, I promise you, by pouring into one another's lives, by allowing an elder to disciple you, Gen Z, by elders allowing a Gen Z or millennial just to sit with you and talk to you so that you can listen to them and give them perspective, this is what changes the world. God is on the move. He's doing something radical around the planet, and he's asking you and I to step into it wholeheartedly. I don't care what our professions are. I don't need you to go into full-time ministry. There's a ministry out of Denver that ministers only to people in their second half of life. People going into retirement that want to do significance instead of just be successful, which to me is ridiculous. We should be significant our whole life and successful our whole lives, right? They literally said to me that their biggest issue, 2 of their issues with calling people out to come and do water in Ethiopia, go hold orphans in Swaziland, whatever. They said is the first issue is, do we sell our second or our third home to go do that? And then secondly, we don't feel qualified to go disciple the next generation. And so we're just not going to do that. We're going to go do something a little bit more simple, like serve people in Africa. Guys, this is off. Let's be honest. We got to talk about those elephants in the room like Charles and I did on my Patreon cast with him. Look, please think about this, pray about this. If you have questions, let me know. GaryandLisaBlack.com. Go there, talk to us. We're doing 2 Rethink retirements, one in Gainesville in February and one in Alabama in February. Andrew Shearman and I and Seth Barnes and a bunch of us will be there. I want to invite you elders to those things. And hey, listen, have a great week. We're off to America tomorrow. And again, any questions you have, just go to GaryandLisaBlack.com and email me. God bless.